exercise where we're going to focus on some things that we may experience on a regular basis, but maybe don't give much thought to. And this will be an exercise in gratitude. Today I want to focus a bit on vision and the ways that it serves us. May I reach out to you? Specifically, I'd like to discuss the ways in which we can track motion, how our eyes and our minds are able to pick up movement patterns and what this means for us on a day-to-day basis. You know, it's funny, our eyes, if you think about it, have different things in the way. We have our nose, we have our eyelids when they close, and our eyes and our minds are able to capture a fluid image. And I think it's not something I am very conscious of. And on reflecting on the different ways that movement appears in the day-to-day, it's actually quite beautiful and fantastic. And I think it's helpful to just review some of those simple pleasures that we get to see on a day-to-day or a seasonal basis. So our minds are able to capture fluid movement, and if you can imagine, picture a dancer taking off leaping as they move across the room. We're able to see that in a beautiful movement. We're able to watch as athletes traverse their playing fields, their courts, moving up and down the field, the rink, the court. And so much of the pleasure that we experience in watching sports has to do with the journey, the movement that takes place, watching the teams dance, if you will, coordinate and strategize. The fact that you can perceive my hand getting closer, you'll be able to sense some of my intent. Perhaps you may have an intuition about the person that you're speaking with, their body language and their movements, soft and gentle, confident, caring. If you see something move abruptly, your mind will pay attention. That's how you might notice. You may not be focusing on anything in your periphery, and you may notice a spider or a critter coming from the outside, and that's your mind telling you there's something you need to pay attention to. Think about in nature all the beautiful things that we get to see in motion. Picture a flock of birds moving to their destination. How beautiful they look. It's the communication that they have with one another so that they're able to move in ways that are energy efficient. I imagine there's some sort of social structure, but I'm really not informed that much when it comes to avian matters, but it's so beautiful to watch. I'm not sure what's going on, but I've seen large flocks of birds move in plumes, diving, coming up and down. Gorgeous. And what's interesting is this might not be something that we could sense unless we were out for long periods of time, but we have technology that allows time lapses, and you can watch a flower bloom in a matter of moments. You can watch the sun move across the horizon. when you think about what we see when we look up at the stars, we are able to see sometimes satellites or shooting stars beam across the sky. Beautiful. I have this feeling of a special connection with satellites because I've encountered a fair amount of luck in being able to look up and spot them, and in general to feel like we're able to view something that's potentially so far away in motion down on the ground. It's quite spectacular. So I encourage you to think of something, one way in which movement serves you in a day-to-day, when we're driving, watching race cars move around a track, when we're wanting to catch something that's fallen, being able to see the pattern of movement, when we know that someone's walking towards us, away from us. There's so many different ways in which motion and movement come into our lives that we may not really think about. And that's part of the point of these reflective and gratitude exercises, is to take a moment out of our day and to look at some of the smaller things. They may be physically big or small, but things that we may not always focus on, that when we take a moment can see the immense detail and amount of information, just how much data is involved in those phenomena and how they affect our lives in terrific ways. So thank you for partaking in this exercise. I hope that you have a safe